the fact that we bring immigrants coming to the north because they're trying to escape poverty and stuff, but that very quest that we're making for wealth is something we have to transform. We have to transform the definition of wealth so that when people live simply, we see that as more worthy than when they accumulate cars and yachts and boats and houses. That's true, yes. Everyone in China and India and Mexico and Bangladesh wants to live at our level of standard, our standard of living. So we are the ones setting this bad standard. Other thoughts at the very back, yes?
If dark-side green is the solution, then what that first lady said is 100% right. Because dark-side green's idea of affordable housing starts at $250,000.
Yes, the affordable housing crisis is a constant parallel. The money's pouring in from Alberta, and dark-side green has been challenged because of the price of land and the price of labour. Until all of us who own houses are willing to tax ourselves and tax real estate sales and put money into a fund to build community-owned affordable housing, we're not going to solve this problem. You can't expect dark-side green on its own to solve that problem. But it's a totally valid point that you make, yes. Yeah.
Want to add to that. While I was on City Council over the past 6 years, I don't know how many high-end projects that were approved, and not any of them providing a single affordable unit. So I just want to reiterate that point, that one can't expect one project to bear the load. But I did bring forward a motion just before leaving council calling for something called inclusionary zoning. And we're well beyond just simply environmental issues tonight, but we can see how the social and the environmental are linked. And that kind of motion, if it were approved, would require that every new project provide some affordable units that would be integrated to that project. So not creating affordable housing out there and the rest of us living there. Anyway, yes. Sue.
3 points, and I want to thank you very much for putting this together. I think we can relocate our work and our living so it's closer to where we work and live, rather than here. Secondly, I think real estate revenue tax should go into affordable housing, updating those unoccupied hotels downtown and so forth, upgrading them. And thirdly, I think...
Can everybody hear her? Okay, so the first thing she said is we should perhaps transportation and housing should be closer matched, so to avoid the need to get into our cars. And then the second, you mentioned real estate.
the real estate tax should go into affordable
Right.
use for affordable housing. We should upgrade those unoccupied hotels. And thirdly,
And so the real estate tax, which is a provincial tax, should go back into housing at the province. And the third?
the third thing today, Stephen Harper's supposed to come out with a green plan. He hasn't said anything, so you can contact Peter Manbridge at the national at cbc.ca and say, we want some specifics on this green plan by Harper on how to cut emissions without consulting the provinces for the next year. He's stalling.
And that is the worrisome. Today, the Prime Minister announced that he was going to announce something, and in the House of Commons next week. And we know that at the moment we have the legislative framework in the form of CEPA, the Canadian Environmental Protection Act, that gives us all the authority we need to impose regulations that would begin to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. And that is what we must ask our government, the federal government, to do right now. Okay? Okay, one at the back.
Sure.
I go into a lot of schools in terms of education, organic education and food security. And it is sort of sitting here and watching the movie, and watching what you put on here, it's great, and I reiterate what people are saying. It seems to me that we are preaching to the converted, and yes, we are looking for some solutions, and I'd just like to say that I think if there's any teachers here, or anybody with high school kids, and even university kids, I think this movie should be really shown to them in this setting, in this environment, and with people like yourself and myself, who are just to react to the movie and get them all going, because those are the people that are really, really going to change it all. For you.
Thank you. That's a great idea. Tonight, before I left for the movie, I was at another function, and a gentleman approached me and made the comment that he thought that this movie should be shown in schools, and I suggested he approach the chair of the school board with that idea, and that's his action. That's what he was going to do tomorrow. So.
This movie will be out in DVD format very soon, which allows every one of us to give it as Christmas presents to people. And there's another example of what we can do at the local level. Patricia Lane, who's a friend of ours who lives in Oak Bay, has decided to cut back on her own work by 2 days a week, to free up 2 days to work on climate change, because she's so concerned about the kind of world that her 16-year-old son is entering. And what she's doing is her family has got together a PowerPoint on their own. They're inviting their friends and neighbours around for an evening in their living room. They're showing the PowerPoint, they're discussing the whole thing, then everyone who comes is making a commitment to something they're going to do, someone they're going to talk to, and to go away and organise another little home party to do that. Every one of us can do this kind of action. And Patricia Lane's details will be, with the Sierra Club, they got the booth out there, we've got a contact with them. And so, every one of us can do something. How many of us cycled or walked to the meeting this evening? Hands, That's, I cycled in from West Sandwich, it's a half-hour bike ride. That's, it's totally commutable range. We can make an effort ourselves, personally. We had a question